Well, hello, Pack. Rico Vecc here. I just want to send a quick video out to you guys telling you Happy New Year. Um, I know a lot of you are having some New Year's resolutions right now, and so from Josh and Jeff and Mike and I, we just want to tell you guys Happy New Year. I wanted to share something with you that I just recently ran across. It was a gentleman named Dr. Mike Evans that was talking about New Year's resolutions, and that about half of us make a new commitment to a positive change in our lives for the new year. And when you think about that, that's pretty incredible. He was actually citing a case by a gentleman named Dr. John Norcourse. He's a leading researcher in New Year's behavior change. He's actually a clinical psychologist at the University of Scranton in Pennsylvania. Him and his colleagues, they have answered many questions about New Year's resolutions. And the first question was, do they work? And surprisingly, the answer to that was, yeah, that they do. Dr. Norcourse had two research assistants call random people in Scranton to ask them about New Year's resolutions between, it was December 26th and December 31st, and over 400 agreed to be studied. And it turns out that there were three groups. The first group was not interested in making a change at all. They basically said, no, I'm happy with where I'm at, or if I'm going to make a change, it's not going to work anyway. So the second group, they were the contemplation stage. They were interested in making a change, but just not at New Year's. Maybe they would do it later. And the third was interested in making a New Year's resolution. And it turns out about 41% of those people wanted to make a New Year's resolution. And the top three were weight loss. Obviously, most people want to do that. Exercise program, and to stop smoking. And I'm sure in that top five was to make some extra money, which is what we can help you with here at LegalShield. And what they found when they did the follow-up was that the contemplators, about 51% of them were successful after about 2 weeks of being on their resolution. So the people that didn't start at New Year's, about 51% of them were successful 2 weeks into it. But that dropped significantly at the 6-month mark. Only 4% of them were successful with their change or with their resolution. But what they found out with the people that had a New Year's resolution, 71% of those people were successful after 2 weeks. But here's the kicker: 46% of them were still successful 6 months into their New Year's resolution. And so what that means is, at least at the 6-month mark, people who picked the New Year's resolution were 10 times more successful than those who chose another time of the year. And so, you might ask yourself why. He asked why, and why is the success rate higher with a New Year's resolution? I think New Year's gives everybody a chance to reflect on making a change, to stop and to think and be mindful and reflect. And I also think a big part of this is cultural, and everyone being supportive of each other's goals. Almost this let's do it together mindset. And here with our company, with LegalShield, we offer so much support within our company. Our culture is to help people, not just at a New Year's time, but all the time. And so when you couple that New Year's resolution to make some extra money into our system, it's designed to be supported. That's why we have private conference calls, why we have the private business receptions, why we have the business briefings, and especially the three-way call. Our entire system is designed to support you in your business. Now, what I found, and I think what they talked about in the studies, what science has found, is that most successful changers that want to have a New Year's resolution, for instance, if you want to make some extra income or you want to lose weight, they don't just bite off giant goals right at the start. They start to handle smaller, more manageable goals on their way to the bigger prize. For instance, when we had the gym up in Greeley, if someone wanted to lose 50 pounds, that's a pretty big goal. But if they set out to lose 5 pounds, just 5, it seems to be more doable. But in order to get to that goal, they're going to actually need to set up some action steps. They're going to have to do something to get even to the 5-pound goal, like getting to the gym or eating differently. And then those goals need to be set up into smaller, more manageable things as well. Like I would teach people, listen, put your workout bag right at the front door. Put it in your car. Make it to where you have to pick that up before you go out. Or if you want to change your eating habits, where you would normally put a snack, put an apple or put a banana, where you would normally put a higher calorie snack. Well, you can do the same thing inside your LegalShield business. Now, if your financial resolution, and everybody that's listening to this right now has a different resolution for their financial business with LegalShield. But let's just say your resolution was to increase your income by 100% by the end of 2013. Don't focus on that goal. Focus on a smaller, more manageable goal, like exposing 2 more people per day to our membership or opportunity, or make a conscious effort to add 4 people per day to your list. Set up an additional private conference call every month, or commit to bringing 1 more person per week to the business briefing. Make those smaller, more manageable goals easier to move forward. And you can even break those down into smaller ones. Make sure you have your list in your pocket. Set a DVD by your keys every morning. Set your flip book. Make sure your flip book's in your briefcase, or your flip book is somewhere where you're going to get it when you leave the house. And when you come in contact with people, mention our business. Use the LEAP program that Mr. Shaw put together. Because when I think of successful changers, I don't think of a CEO who lays out a huge agenda for people to follow. I think of a carpenter or a plumber that arrives at a job site equipped, and they're equipped with tools. And they know they can reframe and adapt old structures, but they also know that they can build what needs to be built. And what I'm talking about there is better habits. When you come into a goal, you want to bring your tools. You want to be able to understand that you can reframe parts of yourself or parts of getting to success, but you also can recreate or build new structures if that's what it needs to be. January was actually named. It was named by the Romans to honor Janus, the god of beginning and transitions. And if you've ever seen a picture of Janus, he actually has 2 faces. One is facing to the past, and one is facing to the future. And I think that's it's pretty neat, because it's kind of what's special about New Year's, and looking and learning from the past, but also pointing to the future and saying, that's who I want to be. This is where I want to go. Learning from your past, but also being mindful and pointing to the future. It's one thing to make a resolution, and that's actually the first step. But make sure to link activity and income-producing activity to these goals. Utilize the system to your advantage, and I promise you it'll pay off. As always, we're here to help you in any way that you need. We are here, Jeff, Josh, myself, Mike. We're here to do the 3-way calls for you. We're here to do the private conference calls. Every day we're doing business briefings down at the Success Center. Make sure you plug in. If you really want to change your financial future, this is the company to do it. In your back office today, there's a special video from our CEO, Rip Mason, and he talks about the phenomenal success that we've been able to have in the year 2012 and looking forward to the year 2013. As I promise you, this is going to be the most successful year for our company yet. We are starting to see the momentum. We are starting to see the increase in productivity, the increase in recruiting, and the increase in just the mindset of the leaders, of the people that have been around a long time. They're getting more momentum, as well as the new blood, people like myself, people like Josh, like Jeff. We're starting to be the ones to create this momentum, and we just want you to jump on board and be there with us. We want to make sure that we help you in any way possible. If any of you want to write down your resolutions and email them to us, we'll be more than happy to help and keep you accountable to that. And that's all I wanted to share with you. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. We'll see you at the office tomorrow. If anybody wants to plug in, we'll be doing the briefing at 11 at 1 o'clock. I hope you guys had a great New Year's Day, and we'll talk to you soon. We'll see you at the top.